Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Mr. Chris Tobin, the representative of the Darug people, to do his welcome to country.
Thank you. Warami Nalawa. Hello and welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and for the invitation to welcome you all here tonight. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated, particularly by our elders. Education is highly valued in our culture too. Knowledge meant survival, and our elders are traditionally accorded great respect for their accumulated wisdom and experience. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. As such, he enrolled his daughter, Maria, into the Native Institution, a school set up by Governor Macquarie himself in 1815, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name from. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your family are of you here tonight. And with good reason. For your progress progresses us all. Your advancement is our advancement. And that was perhaps more readily understood in old days when clans abided by strict sharing laws and were much smaller. It meant that the food that you brought in from the day's activity was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. And your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all, and your efforts literally nourished the whole community. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we do it right. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to recommend them to yourselves as a benchmark or a model on how good perhaps to expect our lives today. See, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he described the people he encountered at Botany Bay as one of the happiest people he had met in the world. They had nothing, he wrote, but the tools that they carried. They made shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, harvested food from the land without tilling the earth. In traditional times, everyone was accorded rights to the country or clan area where he or she was born into. So there was no homelessness, and no rich and poor either. Everyone had the same amount of gear, what you could carry. There were no armies or jails or even fences, no history of slavery or empire building. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state. Rivers were clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So this is not an ideal, this is normal life for us, or used to be. But there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. So I would say expect great things from your future, and do great things. There's still a lot of magic in the world, and every day presents opportunities to help contribute to make a better world, one that's worthy of our children. We can all do our part. I'll do mine by winding up now and letting you good people graduate. Just want to say congratulations to yourselves and to your families, and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, Mrs. Elizabeth Crouch.
Thank you, Chris, for that very warm welcome to country. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is my great pleasure and privilege as Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University to preside at this very important occasion today. First, I welcome our graduates. I hope that this will be a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. You deserve to take pride, great pride in your graduation today. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance. You need to make many sacrifices. But that hard work has paid off, and I congratulate each and every one of you on your achievements. Today, I also want to especially welcome those of you who are sitting beside and behind our graduates as their guests, because you've all done well too. The very fact that you're here, the fact that you've been invited by one of our graduates to share one of the greatest days of their lives is proof positive that you have been an important influence. So, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, sons and daughters, grandmothers and grandfathers, friends, husbands and wives, partners, boyfriends and girlfriends, congratulations and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. I have another important service for you to perform for our newest graduates. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in the bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduates are too modest to proclaim their success, I want you to do it for them. The ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones they're wearing today and participating in ceremonies just like this. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world that can trace their history back more than 500 years. Macquarie, by comparison, is relatively young, celebrating our 50-year jubilee this year. However, in those 50 years, we've come a long way. We now have graduates living in more than 140 countries. And we will celebrate this year our 150,000th Macquarie graduate in our upcoming April graduation series, and that's a great achievement. We are a very modern and outward-looking university and are regarded as one of Australia's leading research universities. And we're continuing to build on that reputation by extending our research, our course offerings and our facilities. We are always ready and eager to engage with the world around us. On your way here today, you may have noticed our new and prestigious hospital, Macquarie University Hospital, which is used by the students, professional and academic staff in our School of Advanced Medicine. You may also have seen our new library, which provides a 21st century learning and research environment. And more recently, our new Advanced Hearing Hub, which is a world-leading institute dedicated to advances in hearing, speech and language sciences. So it's clear we're forward-looking and we're on the move. However, some of the things that we value so much about Macquarie will not change. The friendliness of our staff and our students that all of our visitors comment upon and notice will continue. The beautiful park-like grounds that make this campus so enjoyable. These things, we hope, will stay in your mind and remind you of your links with Macquarie. Links we hope you will maintain through our alumni network. Remember, you will always be welcome. We want Macquarie to always be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Thank you.
Deputy Chancellor, I call on Mr James Berman, who's graduating today with an honours degree of Bachelor of Commerce Marketing, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Mr Berman.
Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the University, fellow graduates and guests, I'm thrilled to be speaking on behalf of all those graduating this evening as we come together to celebrate the completion of our respective degrees. It is difficult to give moments such as these the justice that they deserve. For most graduands, this ceremony signifies the end of a very long educational journey that has shaped us into the people who stand before you tonight. For many of us, it marks a transition from higher education to full-time employment, and for those continuing to develop an academic vocation is merely a stepping stone towards further study and deeper knowledge in their chosen field. Regardless of where we all go from here, tonight represents a significant achievement and milestone in all of our lives. Often when our goals and ambitions come to fruition, or even when they don't, we have the opportunity to reflect on what led us to that moment, the journey, if you like. And whilst we all come from a diverse range of backgrounds, we converged at this great institution. Macquarie University is our common ground, a place where we have learned, connected, excelled, and at the same time created many fond memories and lifelong friends. We have been lucky enough whilst we've been here to witness and benefit from many changes and developments at the university, both great and small. Macquarie is an established world-class institution, and I can speak for myself in saying that I am very proud to be a Macquarie University graduate. Tonight, as a marketing student, I thought it might be fitting to share my own thoughts on the brand of Macquarie graduates and what sets us apart, which I believe it is an appropriate topic, given that many of you are probably at the process now of marketing yourselves to an organisation in order to get a job. It also gives me the opportunity to show my parents that I've learnt something over the past 6 years. I think what sets Macquarie graduates apart is that through being encouraged to participate in endeavours both inside and outside of academia, we leave this place with much more than a degree. On a personal level, throughout my 6 years at Macquarie, I was fortunate enough to balance my academic pursuits with my ambitions in elite sport, which demanded quite extensive travel overseas for training and competition. I witnessed firsthand the way in which the university nurtures and supports its students and their goals both inside and outside of the classroom. Macquarie, in my opinion, is committed to producing well-rounded graduates, and that's what sets us apart. As students, we were encouraged to participate in a whole range of activities and through them engage with the university community. So to the university as a whole, thank you for your commitment to producing well-rounded graduates. I'm sure that many of the other students here tonight echo a similar sentiment. Tonight is an opportunity to celebrate our own personal achievements, but in doing so, we must of course acknowledge the efforts of those who invested time, expertise and support along the way. To our parents, families and friends gathered here tonight, thank you for recognising the value of education, for supporting our learning and for allowing us to thrive. And to the academic staff here at Macquarie, the lecturers, tutors, supervisors, course conveners and so on, thank you for sharing your knowledge, but most of all, thank you for sharing your passion for learning. Fellow graduates, when you take a moment to reflect on your experiences at Macquarie, I hope that your memories are full of joy and that you recognise the merit of what you have achieved here. I commend you on the dedication and resilience that has led you to this point and look forward to the great things that you will achieve as Macquarie graduates. My final message is for us all to continue to engage with the community here at Macquarie University, because I believe it is truly a special place. Whether you perhaps embark on further studies, continue your involvement with a social or sporting club, stay in touch with old friends from your course, or even if, like me, you decide to get a job here, Macquarie University is our common ground. Please enjoy this moment and be very proud of what you have achieved, and wherever your next journey takes you, I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, James, for sharing your passion for this university, and also I wish you every success in your future career here. We're very pleased to have you on board. Please join me in thanking again James Berman. As Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees and diplomas on those who have complied with the university's requirements for such awards. Now, before I do so, I need to make sure that none of you have ever missed a class, that you've put in all your assignments, you've done all those sorts of things. I hope you're nodding there. And in order to do so, I need to ask our DVC of students and our registrar to certify that you've done all of those things. Deputy Vice-Chancellor.
Deputy Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees and diplomas they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees or diplomas please stand?
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees and diplomas for which you have qualified. Everyone please join me in giving them a round of applause.
Will you please be seated? Deputy Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics. This is the largest faculty at Macquarie University and is one of the largest in Australia. A broad range of programs in some of the most exciting and topical areas of business and economics are offered and continue to be in high demand domestically and internationally. Graduates have recorded employment levels and starting salaries well above the average for all Australian business schools. Research in this faculty is cutting edge and innovative and feeds into teaching, giving students the best possible learning experience. This faculty includes research and study areas in accounting, actuary studies, applied finance, economics, management and marketing. Deputy Chancellor, I now call on Professor Philomena Leung, Head of Department of Accounting and Corporate Governance, the Faculty of Business and Economics, to present the graduates.
Deputy Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics whom you have admitted to degrees. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Gabriela Lopez Damiani, for a thesis entitled The Accreditation Process of Australian Residential Aged Care Homes, an Institutional Theory and Quality Perspective. I present the graduate admitted to the honours degree of Bachelor of Commerce Marketing, James Berman. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance with the Bachelor of Actuarial Studies, Edward James Yelham, who has been awarded the Vice Chancellor's Commendation for Academic Excellence. I present a graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance with the Bachelor of Economics, Lu Wang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Commerce, Adriano Caruso. Benjamin Clift. Loris de la Cruz. Peter Louis Glenn. Stuart Hansen. Max James Harrison. Gu Kosh. Jennifer May Lam. Niona Athi Nair. Ida Prescott. Yamuna Kumari Sakota. Emma Louise Bell. Jonathan Peter Shannon. Rachel Mary Williams. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Arts, Michael Scott Chatuti. Michael Leonarda. Rebecca Rufina Michael. Philip Oscar Paczynski. Laura Yaspel Sayan. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Arts Psychology, Simon John Hickson. Sahar Yawi. Anus Ubijan. Nicola Claire Longhurst. Alice McCoon. Alyssa Camden Murley. Claire Louise Murphy. Vandana Narayan. Anusa P. Patel. Jessica Elizabeth Ramsey. Jessica Rosnott. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Commerce Accounting, Jason Anil Kumar. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting, Monique Diane Egger. Patrick Fakai. Anna Claire Galbraith. Masha Saskia Hadiwinata. Vanessa Halou. Ashutosh Joshi. Arthur Michelian. David Mins. Stephanie Ann Perez. Lucas Jin Yi Wong. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Economics, Drew Peter Wrigley. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Actuarial Studies, Chen Shang. Jia Yishu, who has been awarded the Vice Chancellor's Commendation for Academic Excellence. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance, Wing Ting Wang. Dan Dun Wang. Xin Wang. Sai Yi Wang. Yan Wu. Yu Wu. Bing Shi Chu. Kan Wei Su. Yu Qingsheng. Chen Yusu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Shini Baradan. Anthony James Brown. Amanda Carolyn Bush. Twinkle. Chantal Therese Chacou. Chan Tong Joseph Chang. Todd Tristan Colleen. Samuel Elton Cooper. Nicole Louise Davis. Karthi Ganesh. Ming Tao He. Yang Hu. Sarah Mary Jamison. Christopher Lowe. Christopher Stephen Loveday. Misha Rohan Mahendran. Belinda Ann Mailer. Amanda Jody Morgan. Alexander John Monroe. Jessica Grace Nunn. Bevis Ng. Vicky Ng. Maggie Fo. Aran Reddy Potuturi. Andrew Jonathan Rajivan. Ellie Ann Shippers. Tiaharan Saraja. Mitchell Philip Toit. Stephanie Ann Toit. Wai Yin Zheng, Michael Thomas Will, Clayton Gregory Whittaker, Jessie Ann Whittaker, Man Shah, Asifa Shaman, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Mitchell Bonici, Joshua Gates, Noktrak Gan Hun, He Jin Yang, Shan Qi Yang, Wen Hua Yang, Xiao Yan, Yan Yan, Warren Keat Vu Yap, Michael Yassin, Dana Yazdani, Timothy Chu Yan Yip, Amy Yi, Malik Yodas, Rachel Yunan, Stephanie Jia Ming Yong, Feng Shen Yuan, Kevin Chi Kit Yuan, Rebecca Shapir, Yan Zhang, Yifan Zhang, Jing Shou, Xu Shou, Yong Shou, Terence Zhang, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Professional Accounting, Nicholas Edward Polohatch, Miho Yamanaka, Chen Yi Yang, Ming Kan Yan, Chuan Yi, Tian Yi, Mankit Tommy Yik, Kevin Jonathan, Yan Zhenyu, Qiu Yiyuan, who has been awarded the Vice Chancellor's Commendation for Academic Excellence. Yi Chun Shang, Jing Hao Shang, Liu Yansheng, Xiao Bosheng, Xu Yansheng, Yi Lingsheng, Yu Haosheng, Lan Zhangzhou, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Marketing and Media, Doris Viancom. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Daniel Thomas Adams. Deputy Chancellor, that completes this evening's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics. Thank you.
love coming to these graduations for a range of reasons, not the least of which is to see your smiling faces, but also to hear the wonderful Angela Brewer. Please join me in thanking her again. I would also like to thank our musicians, organist Dr. James Forsyth, and our wonderful trumpeter, Melly McLaughlin. And while we're on the subject of thanks, could I also take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the representatives of our alumni community, many of whom come here to help and make these celebrations very important. So please join me in thanking our alumni. And a final note of thanks, even though they don't put this in here, I'd just like to give a vote of thanks to our graduation unit, because without them, these occasions don't happen. You're all in the right spots. We're all here at the time we should be, and obviously we're looking forward to enjoying ourselves after the evening. So please join me in thanking the graduation unit. And it's now my pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Professor James Lee, our newly appointed Deputy Vice-Chancellor International of Macquarie University. Professor Lee received his Bachelor of Science in Geological Engineering from Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, Canada, and a Master of Arts and a Doctor of Philosophy in Geological Sciences from Princeton University. He was a postdoctoral research fellow and research fellow at the Australian National University before returning to Queen's University as a Queen's National Scholar in the Department of Geological Sciences and Geological Engineering. He was promoted to Professor in 2007. Prior to his appointment here, Professor Lee held several administrative portfolios at Queen's University, most recently as Vice Provost International. Professor Lee's academic career has been international in scope, and that's clear from the things he's done. He's published widely in international scholarly scientific journals and has collaborated in projects spanning 5 continents. Professor Lee is a strong proponent of internationalisation across the university and has a long-standing interest in international issues in higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome Professor James Lee.
Madam Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of faculty, staff, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the graduates and your families. It's my honor to stand before you in celebration of this commemorative day. You have worked hard, and no doubt you have played hard, but most importantly, this journey which you started here at Macquarie University some years ago is now coming to an end. First and foremost, this is a truly wonderful achievement, and you and your families should take pride in what you have accomplished. You spent countless hours studying at home or in the library, working on assignments, projects, or theses, and writing tests and exams. And now, to paraphrase the American humorist Dave Barry, you are about to embark on the greatest adventure and the biggest challenge of your youthful lives, moving back in with your parents. But in all seriousness, this will be the last time that all of you as a class will be gathered here as students of Macquarie University. After today, some of you will stay in Sydney, while others will move hundreds or thousands of kilometers away. Some of you will continue your studies, while others will start new jobs. But perhaps most significantly for all of you, one chapter in your life has ended and another is about to begin. So before you start this next chapter, I'd like to take this moment to reflect a little on your time at Macquarie. As you can probably tell from my accent, I am not a native of this country. I was born in a land of maples and pines, where the trees turn brilliant colors in the autumn and where the sport of ice hockey is a national obsession. My parents' ancestors were from yet another country, home to the Great Wall, the invention of paper money, and one of the oldest civilizations in history. And so, perhaps it's fortuitous that as a Canadian of Chinese descent, I also have the privilege of being Macquarie University's first Deputy Vice-Chancellor International. Here at the university, I'm particularly proud of our commitment to internationalization. And in fact, you may have heard that Macquarie University was recently ranked the ninth most international university in the world by Times Higher Education, higher than Melbourne, Oxford, or Cambridge. But what does this really mean? Internationalization in the university has many facets, such as being with international students, looking at global issues in your courses, partnering with universities around the world, and participating in international opportunities. But why should this be important to you? Well, many of you likely have an international heritage, even if it's a generation or two ago. Australia itself is a multicultural country, and in today's global society, it's rare indeed when major international events will not have some impact on Australia. You may not know that a Canadian philosopher, Marshall McLuhan, coined the term the global village back in the 1960s, long before texting, Facebook, and Twitter. Indeed, 30 years before the invention of the internet and the World Wide Web, he foresaw that media and communications had the potential to unite people around the globe on both a physical and time scale, which made the separation of thousands of kilometers completely insignificant. In your own field, can you imagine what global business and commerce was like before the advent of the internet? So today, it's a great advantage for the university graduate to be a global citizen. Many of you have careers that will take you across national borders. In your work, you may be required to analyze and assess how local, regional, national, and international issues intersect. And indeed, many of our most pressing societal issues, such as climate change, environmental sustainability, and poverty, are best addressed in the international arena. But being a global citizen is not about being a citizen of multiple countries. It's about understanding and appreciating international perspectives, adapting your behavior to different cultures, and knowing how to communicate effectively and appropriately in intercultural situations. In my own case, as a Canadian, there are a lot of things about Australia which I may never understand. For example, how can anyone watch a cricket match for 5 days? What other country in the world enjoys eating its national animal? And finally, does anyone other than an Australian actually like the taste of Vegemite? Yet, I can also admire Australia's exuberant pride in its heritage, its obsession for sports of any kind, and that fierce Aussie spirit of always giving the underdog a fair go. My point is that international experiences have an enormous capacity to fundamentally change how we learn, comprehend, and interpret the world around us. And through your university courses and the friends you have made here at Macquarie, I hope that you will continue to enrich the international dimension of your own life so that you are truly citizens of the world. And in this spirit, I'll now end my address with 2 quotes from fellow citizens of the world. For those of you heading back to your home country, I leave you with a quote from the great Nelson Mandela, former Prime Minister of South Africa, who said, "There's nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have changed." And for those of you who still call Australia home, I leave you with a quote from St. Augustine, a philosopher who wandered from Africa to Italy and then back in the 4th century. He said, "The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page." This is our university. This is your world. Congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you, James, for that wonderful address. I have to say I must be truly Australian because I'm one of these people who can spend 5 days watching a cricket match with great patience. So thank you again. Please join me in thanking Mr. James Lee. Graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it's certainly not the end of your association with us. For the rest of your lives, you are part of the larger Macquarie family, our alumni body, and part of a network of more than 130,000 Macquarie graduates across the globe. We will keep in touch with you through our Alumni Relations Office and hope that you will come back to study more or simply to visit our beautiful campus. Graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. I urge you to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry, to set ambitious goals for yourselves, and to continue the hard work that has already brought you so far. I challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet on life's journey. My hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you have learned not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. I hope you will also always remember the people who have helped you along the way, many of whom are here with you today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm going to ask you to do a few things. First, I would like all our new graduates to please stand up. Now, I'd like you to place your degrees on your seats. I want you to swing around, face your family and friends, and give them a hearty round of applause. Now you can turn around now, but don't sit down because I have another job for you. Here on the dais are representatives of our academic staff who have supported you through your journey at Macquarie University. Please join me in thanking them. Right, now we're at the pointy end of business. The official party will soon leave the graduation hall through the centre aisle and will be followed by our graduates. I invite you all to please stand and remain standing till the last of our graduates has processed out. And then I invite you to join us in the marquee overlooking the lake for light refreshments. Just follow us down the path, you can't miss it. Now, wishing you the very best for your futures, I'll conclude with the words of an old Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you, may the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Thank you.